97.9, 105.5, KISS FM. It's Big Papa and Bana in the morning on the Lennon's Jewelers hotline. A friend of mine, he is the tour manager and guitarist for Bret Michaels. Pete Evick is on the Lennon's Jewelers hotline. Pete, good morning, man. How are you?
Good morning, brother. I am absolutely wonderful. Still recovering from the big party in Syracuse, but I'm doing wonderful.
You know, it's funny because we were the morning after we were talking about what happened and you know it really is your job is to organize the chaos that is. That is a rock and roll show and the tour, and to get everything, up and running and going on time, and and still have a personal life and still have friends and children and this, that, and the other.
Yep.
It really is. It's organized chaos all over the place.
And don't forget, for 90 minutes, I actually play the guitar.
Yeah, you're kind of good at that too. I mean, and that's the thing, man. I mean, because it's just like in radio. Back in the day, there was one. There was the morning show, and then all they did was the show. They had people to do production. They had people to do a promotion. They had people to do this and that. And now everybody's multitasking, and just like that, same thing with the music industry. Everybody has to be a jack of all trades at this point.
That's absolutely true. I mean, in almost every industry in America, everyone has sized down or scaled down a little bit. And it's not that we need to. It just makes more sense. I mean, Bret has more money than anybody's ever going to need, and his grandkids are never going to suffer in his life. But just the way business is done as a whole in America, we've all kind of condensed and scaled down. And plus, I like doing that stuff, to be honest with you. When I first came on board with Bret, there was a tour manager, and I kind of always... not that I don't trust anybody, but I end up going over and doing it anyway, and it just made more sense to just have me do it, because I was always looking over my shoulder or checking to make sure it got done right, or redoing whatever those jobs were anyway, and I always had my nose in it. So we just figured that I would take on the task as long as I could. There are times where it becomes overwhelming because, again, the main focus is still on the guitar player and part of the show.
Right.
But I enjoy that stuff. I enjoy knowing the job gets done right, and I get to meet a lot of wonderful people. I may have never met you had I not been this position, had I only been the guitar player, and now, we're buddies. So it has a lot of neat benefits to it.
Absolutely. And like, I'm the same way. When it comes to work, I'm an absolute control freak, because I want the job, whether it be this show or when I DJ out, I want it to be done the right way. And it's and unfortunately, it's like you said, it's tough to trust anyone else. This show is my baby. The show and the tour and the stuff you do with Bret, that's your and Bret's baby. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing.
Absolutely.
And that actually leads into the reason we have you on the show. You wrote a book, and I started reading it last night. I read like the first couple chapters. The book is called "The Moments That Make Us," and this absolutely hit a chord with me, because this is about. You and I actually had a couple conversations about this. I didn't even realize you were writing a book about it. It's about the stuff that people don't see. People only see, you on stage for the 90 minutes, or see you running around with the chicken, like with your head cut off, getting stuff ready before and after the show and this, that, and the other. They don't realize how it affects you as a person, and your love for what you do affects the family life and the personal life and friendships and things of that nature.
Absolutely. And actually, I'm honored that you took some time to read it, and I hope you get what it's about and you like it. It's as you read more into it, it becomes a much more in-depth, it's almost notes of the research I did on my own childhood to help me figure out what it is that makes me tick, the good and the bad. I believe that at some point in everybody's life, they it's not that religious question of why are we here that everybody has, but there's an internal question: what is my purpose? What was I made to do? Why did I become who I am? From whether it's from the foods you like. You know, I wonder all the time, and my brain may work a lot different than other people. You're an artist too. You're in the entertainment industry. We do dance to the beat of our own drummers, but I wonder all the time. We're all human beings. Most animals like the same kind of food. If you're that same kind of animal, they eat specific foods or they do specific things. But we as humans, even our taste buds are so different that, you know, somebody may love hamburgers and somebody may love hot dogs. Why is that? That kind of stuff makes me crazy inside. And so I started tracing the moments of my childhood that made me who I am today, and what moments in my childhood happened that made me believe that I could succeed in such an incredibly strange business, and how it has affected my life and my family, like you said.
Absolutely. We're talking to Pete Evek on the London Steelers Hotline. You can follow him on Twitter at Pete Evek. He is the guitarist and tour manager for Bret Michaels, and the book is called The Moments That Make Us. It's available everywhere. Coming up on the 16th, you can actually get it on Amazon right now, but on the 16th it'll be available on all platforms. I feel like it, and I think this is why like you and I clicked, Pete, because we've both been divorced, we both have kids, and we both are, it's like we're married to the job, and it's because we love what we do, and so we're married to the job, but at the same time trying to have that, the personal connections and the relationships, and it's a weird kind of dynamic, and I feel weird saying this because of I'm a DJ, you know what I'm saying, I'm a DJ here in Utica, but at the same time there are stresses that I have on my personal relationships, just like Pete, just like Bret, just like anybody in the band have on their personal relationships, that most people that work 9 to 5s don't, and it really is something that is unique.
Right. Whether you're a DJ, you're a musician, an actor, and one of my chapters in my book discusses comedians in depth, and my love for comedians and what they do. No matter what it is, we are all entertainers, and I've said this on several interviews lately. Probably anyone that listens to everything is going to get bored of me saying this, but it's huge to me, is that we live in this world that is not, at least for me, I grew up in Washington, D.C., right in the middle of the politics and all that stuff, and I grew up in a world that I didn't expect. They used to write movies about the future, 2012 and stuff like that, or 2000. We're supposed to be riding around in the golden age of peace and jet cars and stuff right now.
Pete, I'm still waiting. Pete, I'm still waiting for the hoverboard, brother. Come on.
That's right. You know exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, we were, our generation. This isn't the world we were prepared to live in. It wasn't what our parents told us it was going to be. And I believe that, we all have to work harder. This is the first generation that our children may not have as good of things as we had. The general rule when I was growing up is most parents always said, I just want my kids to have a better life than me.
Right.
There's a good chance that a lot that doesn't happen anymore, the way our economy has happened, the way that ISIS and terrorist groups and the world's different than any of us dreamed it was going to be. And if you're an entertainer, whether it's you as a DJ or me as a guitar player or a comedian or an actor, you've been given a gift. It's a gift to entertain people. And with that gift in this day and age, it is your absolute responsibility to use that. If you don't use what you've been given to make someone happy or make them forget about their problems for 5 or 10 minutes a day or an hour a day or whatever it is, then that gift should be revoked from you somehow, if you know what I'm saying. And so it does give you, if you do take that seriously, like you and me, like you said, you and me click, we're buddies at the same thing. You wake up every day and look at the world around you, and not to belittle this, but you're looking for content. You are focused on what you can take from the world to bring back to your craft and share it in a way that makes people feel good or happy about themselves. And that in itself can take its toll on a friendship, a relationship, a marriage. It's a wonderful experience, and I will do it for the rest of my life, but there are moments where it's all-consuming, and you can almost be considered egotistical and selfish, and it's really not that, because what you're doing is trying to give back, but it takes a long time to get it in before you can give it back.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're talking to Pete Evek on the Lennon Jewelers Hotline. You can follow him on Twitter at Pete Evek. The book, The Moments That Make Us. It's available everywhere on the 16th. Speaking of gifts, and I know we got to wrap it up. I do have to apologize. I brought to you as like a little thank you gift. I brought a bottle of Jack for Brett and a bottle of SoCo for Pete. And
hey, let me just stop you real quick. Those weren't the regular size bottles that we get as gifts. You go on record as bringing the biggest bottles that anyone's ever brought us.
Listen, listen, Pete. We've hung out before, okay? So all right, I didn't want to I didn't want to run out. So what ended up happening is just before the show, Pete in his little station pulled out a bottle of SoCo, and it was about like a third left, and there was probably about 8 of us standing on the side of the stage. So he took a sip, he felt bad, so he offered it up, and it went down the line like twice, 3 times. We were cold, so it was helping warm us up, and it was almost gone. So I pulled the one that I had brought, the super economy size. I popped it down, and then Bart, the bass player, came over, tried to rip it open, but it was sealed. So I went over, I opened it up, and I'm like, well, he offered it before. So next thing you know, we're literally on the side of the stage drinking this bottle of SoCo from the bottle, watching you guys play, and then at the end, I'm like, oh, here's your gift, and I realized that the bottle's half gone.
I told you, man, the gift was getting to hang out with you there for a little bit, and I wish I could have done it more. But I have to correct you. When it comes to alcohol or liquor, I don't think you call it economy size. I think you call it party size.
I call it Pete size. That's what I'm calling it. So,
there you go.
The Moments That Make Us is available on the 16th. Pete Evek on the Lennon Jewelers Hotline, guitarist, tour manager Brett Michaels, and just a friend of mine, and absolutely awesome. And if you get a chance, definitely get it wherever you can, and it's available all over the place. So, Pete, thank you so much, bro. I appreciate it.
Thank you, man. I can't wait to hang again.
Absolutely. It's a Pete Evek, everybody. We're going to break, come back. It's Big Pop and Banna on KISS FM.